call this meeting, the Oskaloosa City Council, to order. Today is Monday, January 4th, 2016. Let's start with the invocation by Father John Spiegel at St. Mary's Catholic Church.
Thank you. I welcome all present to reflect quietly in prayer or favor, as ever their conscience directs, upon our community and this council. This then is my prayer for the city of Oskaloosa and its city council this night. Lord our God, look with love on the people of this community of Oskaloosa and keep them safe in your service throughout this new year. Guide the members of this city council throughout the new year and on this night. Help them to work together for the good of all, bless their plans and deliberations, and bring them to success. Father, I ask this grace through Christ our Lord, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Roll call, please.
Burnett?
Yes.
Caligiuri?
Here.
Jimenez?
Yes.
Moore?
Here.
Versteeg?
Here.
Walling?
Here.
Yates?
Here.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the opportunity for community comments. This is reserved to receive any comments for the community for concerns whether or not they're included on our current agenda. The community is encouraged to come and speak before the mayor and city council. We do ask that statements be kept brief, time limited at 3 minutes. Any questions that are to be asked of the city staff, the council members, or the mayor, we ask that be done prior to speaking to the full council, so that way concerns can be properly researched and addressed, perhaps away from the meeting. Comments are to be directed to the mayor and city council only. Is there anyone who would care to speak at this time? You ask for your name and if you live in Oskaloosa.
Hi, my name is Spencer Nelson, and I live in Oskaloosa, Iowa. I'm here with Troop 71, and as part of the citizenship and the community merit badge, we have to come observe a city council meeting or other likewise meeting. So we decided to come here tonight, and we thank you that you have allowed us this chance to come here and visit you. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. We welcome you anytime you want to come. Is there anyone else who would care to speak?
Good evening. My name is Beth Danowski. I'm the chair of the Mahaska Community Development Group, and I have a brief statement in support of the local option sales tax work that you've been doing, and it goes like this. As you know, on December 17th, the group of people representing Mahaska Community Development Group and the YMCA submitted a petition with 864 signatures to call for a referendum to continue the 1-cent local option sales tax that is set to expire at the end of this year. The unofficial number of signatures continues to grow, and we have nearly 1,100 signatures from individuals in the Mahaska community saying they'd like to see the city council, the supervisors, and the Oskaloosa Community School District work to reach a consensus around the use of the 1-penny option sales tax to provide enough funding to achieve the projects listed. For the city of Oskaloosa, as you well know, those projects included the Mahaska Recreation and Early Childhood Education Center, roads and infrastructure. For the county, that included the Mahaska Recreation Early Childhood Education Center, Environmental Learning Center, roads and infrastructure. Residents we talked to appreciate the collaborative approach that you have taken in the previous option sales tax, and are asking for the opportunity to vote on a similar ballot, as has been done in the past. We appreciate your leadership and support, and are committed to continuing to work with you, the school district, and Mahaska County to fund these important projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Thanks, Bill.
Is there anyone else who would care to speak tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Item 5 on the agenda has to do with the oaths of office. You may have noticed we have a different face up here, as well as the re-election that has taken place for a couple more of our city council members. And so at this time, I guess I need to get the oath of office first. Let's go in the center.
Raise your right hand and repeat
Okay.
after me. I, David Creutzfeldt, do solemnly swear
I, David Creutzfeldt, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of mayor in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
discharge the duties of mayor in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Thank you very much. Huh? Tom Jimenez.
Support the Constitution.
Raise your right hand. I, Tom Jimenez,
I, Tom Jimenez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
and I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Second Ward Council Member
discharge the duties of Second Ward Council Member
in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, you're in. Steve Burnett, would you please step forward? Raise your right hand. I, Steve Burnett,
I, Steve Burnett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
that I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Fourth Ward Council Member
discharge the duties of Fourth Ward Council Member
in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You're in. And finally, Joe Caligiuri.
Yeah, I'm last.
Raise your right hand. I, Joe Caligiuri,
I, Joe Caligiuri,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
and I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of at-large council member
discharge the duties of at-large council member
in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter by law.
You're in. Congratulations.
Yeah, I had to swallow.
The first meeting of the new year a lot of times is shorter than most because there isn't as much business to be done at the meeting. However, I think we are setting some sort of a record for the size of a consent agenda for the last 5 or 6 years, at least in my tenure. So anyway, the consent agenda consists of items that are itemized A through X, if you can imagine that. They're all routine in nature. A lot of this has to do with appointments that I'm making to the various city council committees and also commissions where representation from the city council is required. And so I would also mention that item R, it just says that it's to consider appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission. I would make the note that that is Nathan Wilson, term ending on December 31, 2018. Do we have a motion to support the consent agenda?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on any of the items?
Just one comment, Mayor. On
Okay.
item G, it looks like we're doing a great job on the safety committee and we're making inroads. I think that's a really good deal. I noticed the one goal It was to get under 1 on the mod rate, but we could make that 0.8, but we've talked about that, so
Okay.
thank you.
Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Walling.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Burnett.
Yes.
Calgery.
Yes.
Jimenez.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Versteg.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Next item on the agenda is the announcement that we have of various vacancies on boards and commissions. The first item is in the Airport Commission. We have one vacancy to fill. It's upon appointment for an unexpired term ending on December 31st, 2021. It's a 5-member board, typically meeting on the first Monday of the month. We have 4 males and no females currently serving, one vacancy. Board of Adjustment. We have one vacancy to fill upon appointment for a term ending on December 31st of 2020. It's a 5-member board, typically meeting as needed on the 4th Tuesday of the month. We currently have 4 males serving, one vacancy. Historic Preservation Commission, we have 3 vacancies. One to fill upon appointment for a term ending December 31, 2018. 2 vacancies for alternate members. This is a 7-member board with 2 alternate members that meets as needed. Currently, we have 4 males and 2 females serving. 3 vacancies, 2 for alternate members. The Housing Trust Fund Committee. There are 2 vacancies for 3-year terms that begin on February 1st, 2016 and end on January 31st, 2019, and 1 vacancy to fill upon appointment for a term ending on February 28th of 2017. There are 5 appointed members on the committee and typically meets the first Thursday of every other month, 3 females and 2 males currently serving. Item E is the Municipal Housing Agency. There are 4 vacancies, 3 vacancies for 2-year terms that begin on March 1st, 2016 and end on February 28th, 2018, and 1 vacancy to fill upon appointment for an unexpired term that ends on February 28th of 2017. This is a 5-member board that meets quarterly, 2 males and 2 females currently serving, 1 vacancy. And finally, the Water Board. There is 1 vacancy for a term that ends on June 30th of 2016. It's a 5-member board that typically meets the 3rd Monday of the month. And we have 4 males currently serving with 1 vacancy. Moving on to the regular agenda. Item A, this is the time for a public hearing. It's a resolution approving the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Fire Department renovation and expansion project. In our details, it mentions that Rohrbach and Associates has redesigned the project plans and specifications for the, we call it the Fire Department and renovation and expansion project. This would be the new firehouse. This item allows City Council to receive input on the plans, specifications, and the bid letting date for the project. If awarded, the construction is proposed to commence in spring of 2016. Anticipated work completion time, 425 calendar days. Staff is recommending approval of the attached resolution approving the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost of the project. Bids are going to be received, and then we'll open them up on February 9th, 2016 at 2:00 p.m., and the City Council will have them presented for their consideration on February 16 of 2016. So now's the time for anyone who's interested to express their opinions concerning the project plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost. Is there anyone who would like to speak at this time? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion of support for the resolution?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Yates.
Yes.
Burnett.
Yes.
Calgery.
Yes.
Jimenez.
Yes.
Moore. Yes. Versteg.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Now, let's see, something I should have asked about earlier. Do we need to make a motion to go into closed session prior to going through the city manager, city clerk, etc.?
I would not think we would need to do that.
Okay.
Let's get through that first.
Okay, city manager, anything?
Mayor, I just have a few items for you today. The county, as was mentioned by Beth Danowski, the county's been having ongoing conversations about the use of the local option sales tax. The discussion continued this morning, and the discussion continues to be divided. There appears to still be 2 no votes on even getting ballot language together that would support any type of contribution or at a level that would be an amount that would complete the project. So Supervisor Dolan did say that he is trying to get two groups together, the ones who are supportive of the project and the ones who are not supportive of the project together, to try to work out some type of compromise. And so I think hopefully with his leadership there can be some form of a compromise, and that can be something that he can chalk up to as a win for him as an elected official. But what happened this morning is that the supervisors basically said there's 2 weeks to get that done. And so at their next regularly scheduled meeting, they plan on having a discussion about the ballot language. So if you know of anybody in unincorporated Mahaska County that has an opinion about the project, have them contact the supervisors and specifically Supervisor Dolan. So that'd be that item. The January might be light on agenda items. However, we do have a number of meetings that are coming up. The next one is a study session for budget purposes, and that'd be January 19th. We're going to have a study session. I'd propose at 4:30, the start time. If that doesn't work, I do need to know that sooner than later. The idea would be that we would have presentations from 3 organizations that we have 2080 agreements with or funding agreements with. And that would be the Animal Shelter, the Chamber and Main Street Oskaloosa, and Forest Cemetery.
Okay.
At this point, I'd like to allocate 30 minutes to each of those conversations. In the event that we need additional time, then we could continue those conversations during the January 25th and 26th budget meetings that are already scheduled.
Okay. And so that would be January 19th at 4:30?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then, as I just mentioned, we would have our budget meetings, the workshop, study session on January 25th. Historically, we've held those meetings at 3 o'clock as a start date or start time, and pushed through until generally 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. Is that the preference for this year as well?
Yes. One night.
The 25th.
Try and get it done in one night is what you're saying?
If there's support to do that, and if we can get through
This
that.
one on the 19th, what is that? Just a study session?
The big issue will be, as it has been, discussions about property tax relief and the impact on the general fund. We've seen values, they're down for the community, and therefore we do have less revenue coming in to the city. That's the first time that's happened in 6 years that I've been here. Generally, we've had increases in value. However, this last year, commercial, which would be the multifamily as well, is down. Not completely unexpected. It is unfortunate, but not unexpected. So we have some issues in the general fund to deal with there. Secondarily would be wastewater, sewer. As you know, we've been discussing the DNR EPA mandates that are being forced upon our community. They're going to result in sizable projects for us to complete within a specified time. And so we are going to have to ramp up rates even further beyond what they've already been. I don't have that information just yet, but we're working on that, and we'll have that in time for the budget discussions. But again, just kind of a forewarning, as we've had every year. We know this has been coming. It's not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise. We just don't like the results or the message that's being delivered. Lastly would be snow removal. I know that some of you have received complaints. Our office has received a couple here and there. The staff, we have 7, 6 were able to respond and help remove the snow. It was kind of an unfortunate set of circumstances between the number of hours that our staff were able to work, the holiday, and then just the type of event that we had. So we had snow, we had ice, we had a little bit of more snow on top of that. In some areas were not necessarily cleared to everybody's liking, and so my apologies to those of you that are receiving those phone calls and to the public that have to deal with that. Our staff, they on average worked, I think it was 45 hours each. That's the total hours worked for the week. And then they were back at it as of midnight, this morning. And so they've been back sanding and salting as much as they can, continue to do that as needed. So it should be getting better. And if the forecast holds up, maybe we'll get rain, and that'll help out as well. So again, if you're receiving those phone calls, I'd be interested to hear that. If anyone has any recommendations on how to do it better, that's always appreciated as well. But we've been sticking to the removal policy that we try to minimize the amount of hours for snow removal. We get it to a point where generally it's safe. We still urge the public to be cautious. And then we have the employees cut loose, and then they come back on straight pay to complete the rest of the removal. That type of move has saved the city tens of thousands of dollars. If I remember correctly, it was $50,000 plus or $60,000 the first year we instituted that type of policy. And so there's an immediate impact. It's real dollars. So if you've been hearing that, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk to those individuals and explain as needed. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mike. City Clerk, anything?
I'd just like to remind everybody that January is the month to file your tax abatement forms. They're due by February 1st by 5 o'clock that night. And it's an abatement that if somebody's made improvements to their building of 15%, they might want to sign up for that. Forms are on the website, or they can come into the city clerk's office and we can help them out with that.
Okay, very good. Thank you. City Attorney, anything?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. We'll move on here. City Council members, anything? Let's start with you, Joe.
Well, not really, but this was passed out. I was just wondering what the idea on this is.
This is a first look.
No, it's okay.
This is a first look at the surprise that we're going to have. You may remember that Eggs and Issues is going to be starting up the first Saturday in January, this coming Saturday. And so the City Council has an opportunity to see what will be handed out on that Saturday morning. Traditionally, the last couple of years, may even be 3 or 4 by now, what I do is sit there with one of the county supervisors and field questions from the audience for about an hour. We have usually prompted people to see what we are going to talk about and sort of reflect on the accomplishments of the year through that document. In the past, it has been a small half-page, both sides. Now, we have an active enough council who has enough to be proud of that we can fill up a full page, both sides. And we have pretty pictures, which we're going to put in there. And, you know, the council doesn't look half bad in general.
I liked it. I thought it looked nice.
So anyway, I thought you would. I think Mike probably has taken the initiative that to give you all a chance to see it ahead of time as we're putting this together. So if you have any comments or editorial suggestions, Mike needs to hear about it in a hurry because we're just about done with the project.
Well, I was thinking, you know, we've been, getting information out to the community, and I think something like this is a good idea. You know, maybe something every 6 months, annual basis or something, you know, of what's going on in the community.
Okay.
Because we always, you know, how we get the word out to folks about things. You know, you hear it on Facebook or you hear it at some meeting or wherever, but something like this, you know, would be nice.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, Aaron? Scotty?
No, thank you.
Tom?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that to all the residents of Mahaska County, that if they support the rec center, they should give the supervisors a call, all of them, even the people of Oskaloosa. We also vote the county precincts, so let's do that. Wake them up, see what's going on.
Okay. Doug?
Nothing to answer.
Tom?
The phone numbers under our pictures, those are the numbers that go to the email, that we get through the email, is that correct?
Right, it goes into City Hall, gets dropped into a sound file and emailed to you directly.
Okay. That's all I got.
I've had a number of people who were shocked at how fast I could respond to their phone call that came into City Hall and got dropped into a voicemail, and I turn around and ring their phone. So it's a very responsive system, assuming the person at the end of the email is able to react. Steve, anything from you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. And I don't have anything else to add, so moving on. Last item is to consider holding a closed session under Iowa Code Section 21.5.1.c to discuss strategy with counsel on a matter presently in litigation or in which litigation is imminent, where disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the city's position. Do we have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Burnett,
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Jimenez.
Yes.
Moore. Versteeg.
If I vote no, can I leave?
We already got a majority.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. So we will go into closed session at this time. Thank you, everyone, for attending. No guarantee on when we'll be done.
No action out.
There will be no action afterwards. Okay. We are back into open session. We have no action that is contemplated at this time. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.